change for the coach and the generator. I'll dig out the screwdriver and check the water level in the batteries. See if I can fix that little gap that's causing a water leak. Clean the inside of the windshield because condensation leaves nice little spots all over it, and on a sunny day makes it interesting. Hey folks, welcome to 54 Nights. I'm Chris, and it is a beautiful, beautiful day. February the 1st, Super Bowl Sunday, or 2nd, excuse me. Super Bowl Sunday, Groundhog Day, and it's gonna be a high in the 70s. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Oklahoma. I love this place because it's like supposed to snow in a couple of days. So today is a maintenance day. I don't know how much I'm gonna get done. I got oil changes to do. I've got to take a look at that gap on that passenger side window, because when the AC is draining or it rains, it lets water in. Not a whole lot, but enough where it needs to be addressed before it turns into a whole lot. Then of course the condensation spots on the inside of the windshield. I just need, it's a big windshield. Takes a little bit of time to clean it up on the inside. Just saying. It's not a, it's big. But I mean, with all that, it kind of got me thinking about just maintenance on a motorhome. You know, we are shopping for a motorhome, and you know, a diesel is on our list as well as the gas rigs. So maintenance is something that, you know, you got to consider. And these are just regular typical maintenance items. You know, the gap in the side window is, you know, these things happen over time. You put thousands and thousands of miles going down the road, and things like this happen. It's like owning a home. You know, you've always got maintenance things to do with a home. It's really no different with an RV. There's always going to be something. You know, for example, a little piece of wood that just trimmed that needs to be put back on. A lot of these things are just typical maintenance things that pop up from time to time, but there are some of them that are really caused by poor craftsmanship. The plug for the washer and dryer that we've had to plug back in once or twice, I need to address that. I need to figure out a permanent fix for that, because honestly, it is a fire hazard. It starts coming unplugged, and it's behind a false wall, so you know, we've got to unscrew that to get back in there and fix it. Otherwise it wouldn't be that big of an issue. We'd just go back there and plug it back in properly every now and then. But I really need to find a permanent fix for it. The location of the outlet and the length of the power cord for the washer dryer combo don't match up well. It's a stretch to get it plugged in. That's the problem. So I need to figure out a solution for that problem, or just have a flaming RV going down the highway at some point. That is a craftsmanship issue. The little trim piece below the refrigerator, honestly, that trim piece has been off of there for almost the entire time we've owned this RV. I mean, in my defense, I've been working a lot the past 2 years, so some of these maintenance items have been put off because I've either been at work or at the lake. And here comes my wife. She's gonna clear things up for us.
What am I gonna clear up?
Well, I was just talking about maintenance items, normal maintenance items, like a little trim piece below the fridge, the the gap in the window over here. These are normal. I mean, that's just normal stuff. I've got this dash. I need to tighten this whole dash down because I've noticed it moving more when we're going down the highway. That's kind of normal. This is when you put thousands of miles on a rig, those things happen. What is not normal is the plug for the washer and dryer. That was poorly engineered. The trim piece for that refrigerator that came off within a few months of us owning the rig, that's not normal maintenance. That is poor craftsmanship. And there are other little things all in this RV. We love this RV. We do. We absolutely love this RV. If we're stuck with it for the rest of our lives, good deal. We've got a nice RV. But it is a mass-produced unit. Not mass-produced in comparison to the auto world, but they crank out as many of these units as they can every day. The same with Thor, the same with Berkshire Hathaway, which is Fleetwood. Forest River. And Winnebago. These are manufacturers. They're not builders, they're manufacturers. They crank out as many as possible. And in my mind, there is a direct correlation between the number of RVs you put out per day and the quality of workmanship. One goes up, the other goes down. Yes, people that do the same repetitive tasks every day can do them faster than somebody who doesn't.
But you don't have time to inspect it if you're trying to get them out.
Yeah.
Fast.
And the guys that work at the factories, there's a lot of turnover at the factories from what I understand. So they don't, and it's not like they're just doing one task over and over and over again. They're doing multiple tasks, and they're doing them as fast as possible because management is demanding that they get X number of RVs pushed out the door each day. So little things get overlooked. Staples don't get put in. We've got a wall back here that I've got to screw back together because it wasn't built properly. That's just the bottom line. It was not built properly. We have a screw in the shower. It's not a stainless steel screw. Why would you use a regular screw in an environment where everything gets wet? Because that's what you had left in your belt pouch when you went to install that shower head. That's why. You didn't have a minute to go grab you another handful of stainless steel screws. You just took what you had in your hand. That's where the mass-produced RVs are an issue. So I'm trying to get caught up with a little bit of this today. We're going to wash the RV. We are going to wash the RV today.
Yeah, he thinks I'm going to be involved in this.
I also have some peel and seal to do up top. It is time to pull up the old sealant around the fans and everything else that pokes up through the roof of the RV. It's time to remove that sealant and put down new die core.
Probably because we don't park under a protection.
Yeah, if you don't cover your rig, it's something that needs to be done every couple of years. It's easier to do that than it is to try to repair all the water damage. Anyway, I got to get to work. You know, I like to make fun of Oklahoma weather, but there is just something about a 70-degree day in February. Life is good. I didn't get quite as much done today as I wanted to, but when do you ever? Tell you what, that ceiling job upstairs, the camera battery died on me, so I wasn't able to get it all. I picked the largest part on top of the RV to pull up the sealant and reseal it. Of course, it was the ugliest looking sealant up there. Needed to get done. It probably took me close to 2 hours to do it. I really didn't time it. And I'm slow with stuff, a little meticulous, so but I got it done. It took almost a whole tube of the die core. So when you go to reseal everything up top, you need more than one tube of die core. I bought a 4-pack. I'm hoping that's going to be enough. I've got 2 vent fans and I don't know. Seems like I got about 6 other smaller spots that I need to reseal, so it may be cutting it close. I may have to order me another tube or two, but anyway, it's not the easiest job in the world, but it is necessary. You got to do it, otherwise you end up with leaks, which cause internal damage that just a whole lot of not fun. But that's just one of those regular maintenance items that you need to do on an RV. And you know, I talk, here she comes again. She likes to sneak in here and pretend like she's not there when I'm talking.
I was just gonna go do some stuff.
So, yeah, and I talked about those maintenance items that are because of not so good craftsmanship, the build quality, I suppose. And you're going to see, you know, everybody from the $1 million coaches down to the $70,000 Class Cs, they're going to come across those problems. Yeah, they're going to be more plentiful on the lower end coaches than they are on the high end coaches, but it's just going to happen. Humans make these things. They're not built by robots. They're not like a Ford Mustang or a Chevy Corvette. They're not built by robots. Human beings put these things together, and they're going to miss stuff. They're going to take shortcuts because they're ready for lunch, you know, whatever it is. Nobody is immune to it. It doesn't matter how much money you put down. That being said, I mean, we are shopping for an RV, and Fleetwood was on our top 4 list, and really it's kind of been, we haven't looked at a Fleetwood, and we have no plans to look at a Fleetwood, because we're looking at Newmars and Tiffins, which their build quality, their overall build quality is better, and we've reached a point in our lives where we just don't want to deal with it. When we bought this Fleetwood, we knew what we were getting into. We knew there were going to be some build quality issues with it. Not as much as some other RVs, but there were going to be some. But we knew that going into it. And that's why I'm talking about this. When you're shopping for an RV, know what you're getting into. No, you don't have to spend the extra $80,000 for, you know, the higher build quality RV. But you do need to know what you're getting into and be prepared. If you're willing to spend less money on a coach, spend less money on one of the mass-produced coaches in the industry, and accept the fact that you're going to be putting stuff together back the way they should have been put together to begin with. I think that's really the best way I can put it. You know, I was talking about the washer dryer plug out in the back of the coach. It should have been done right the first time. When the coach was built, it should have been done right. It wasn't. So now I've got to go in, I got to do it right. The pedestal sink in the bathroom, year 2 back, I had to install it correctly because it wasn't installed correctly at the factory. So, but that was something that we accepted. We kind of knew that we were going to get a handful of that when we bought this. Now that we're buying a new coach, we don't want as much of that. We want as little of that as possible, and going, with a Newmar or a Tiffin, we're going to get less of it. Are we going to get zero? Well, maybe we'll get lucky. A lot of people do get lucky. And maybe we'll get lucky enough where we don't have to redo something the right way. But if I was to buy something else, I'm very confident that we wouldn't get lucky. So, that's really what this video was about. Was just, it's one of those things. Keep your eyes open when you go buy a coach. Understand what you're getting into. Do your research. Understand that there are manufacturers that you're going to have to deal with more maintenance issues than you are going to have to deal with another manufacturer. It's just the nature of the beast. It's unfortunate that we support that as RV buyers. We support that mentality with the manufacturer. So, but anyway, I know a lot of that was rambling. I've got more work to do up on the roof. The next nice day, I'll climb up there and do a couple of more vents to seal those up. It's like a house. You always got maintenance to do on it, but it's all good. With all that rambling, I hope it was a little bit helpful, and I'll catch y'all down the trail.